Hello everyone, it's Kate Asura Krovet. Tonight we're going to be playing a game called Moonlight Walks. I found it recently, I don't know much about the game or anything else, so um, let's just get into it and see how it works out. It was some before I started college. I've spent the past 2 years studying, taking tests, and applying for admission. Now, for the first time in a while, I had a little downtime, so I decided to take the opportunity to explore America. Oh. But since I was broke, my plans were quickly scaled down to spending the summer at my aunt and uncle's house on a small island known as North-South Island. North-South Island was a barrier island in the Atlantic Ocean. It was remote enough that I can't speak. There wasn't even a bridge to it, just a ferry that ran a few times a day. Being such a small island, there wasn't all that much to do, but the solitude was nice, and I found ways to pass the time. One thing I did was take pictures with my digital camera. On the night of the full moon, I decided that I wanted to capture the moonrise. So I went out to the beach just before the moon came up, set up my camera on the tripod, and locked in the appropriate shutter speed and f-stop. Every few seconds, as the moon rose, I used the remote that can't. I used the remote that came with my camera to snap another frame showing the moon and its reflection on the water. It only took a few minutes for the moon to rise over the horizon, but I kept at it for a while longer. Finally, I was done. I started packing up my camera and my tripod to get ready to head back to my aunt and uncle's house. That's when I saw her, in the distance. I can see someone else walking down the beach. I could tell that it was probably a girl or a woman from the long white dress she wore, but from that distance, it was hard to tell anything else about her. I decided to stay a bit to see who it was. In all the times I've gone out stargazing, I never met anyone that just walking down the beach in the middle of the night. At that late hour, most people were either at home or in a town with other people. You hardly ever saw people by themselves. The only time I've seen someone else on the beach at night would be when they are watching the stars or the lights go by. But those people stay still and look up at the sky, while this girl was looking down at the ground in front of her, watching where she was going. I ran through a number of crazy scenarios in my head. Maybe she had some disease that meant she couldn't be out in the sun. Maybe she was looking for buried treasure. It only took me a few seconds to dismiss these. What was the chance of them actually happening? Bum, bum, bum. I waited for a while as she slowly made her way down the beach. I didn't think such a slow walk could be for exercise, but I had no idea what else she could be doing out there. Finally, she was close enough that I could get a good look at her, using the telephoto lens on my camera. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. She was around my age, a year or two younger or older at the most, and in perfect shape. Her skin was flawless, a bit pale, and her hair was very light, almost as white as the long dress she was wearing. Together, the combination of pale skin, light hair, and a white dress made her seem to glow in the moonlight. She was a fair ways off, and I was pretty sure that she hadn't seen me. I knew what it was I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to take her picture. I'm taking a picture. I thought I would be a failure as a photographer if I let such a beautiful sight go without capturing it. So I readied my camera to take her picture. I didn't let her know I was there. It's best to take pictures of unaware people, because if they know you're taking their picture, they tend to pose unnaturally. I set the camera to auto, framed her in the picture, and pressed the shutter release button. The camera beeped softly as it captured the picture. I repeated this a dozen times. I find that it helps to take many pictures in the hopes that one or two of them could come out perfectly. When I was done taking the pictures, I lowered my camera and waved to her. After a few seconds, she finally noticed me and waved back. But she was still far enough away that if I had tried talking to her, my voice would have been lost over the crashes of the waves. I put my camera back into its case, picked up the tripod, and started heading back to my aunt and uncle's house. When I got back, I hooked up the camera up to my computer and started downloading the pictures I took that night. I'm actually kind of scared. The series of photographs of the moon came out well, but they weren't really what I was interested in. I quickly skipped through them, looking for the pictures I took of the girl. But when I finally got to the pictures I took of her, there was something strange about them. She wasn't there. I'm almost certain that I had framed the pictures right, but all I saw in them was the sandy beach behind where she was standing. There were a dozen pictures like this. Each of them had the background of the shot I framed, but the subject is nowhere to be seen. I must have spent an hour slowly cycling through the pictures I took of the girl, hoping in vain that she would show up in at least one of them. I don't want her to show up, to be honest, but she was never there. The combination of her mysterious beauty and the strangeness of those pictures imprinted her image in my mind. Even today, years later, I can close my eyes, think back, and see her as I saw through my lens. I can't move. I went stargazing at that beach several times over the summer, hoping that I would be able to see her again, but I never did. Ending 1, nothing to say. Moonlight Walks, version 2.0. That was it? By Pi Tom. Or P-Tom. No. Art by Mujin John. Powered by the Ren Pi Vision Novel Engine. Ooh, I'm Vision Novel Engine. I need to get that. Thanks to the posters at the Lomosoft forums for their support and encouragement. Thanks for playing. What, that's it? There's gotta be something somewhere. Well, that's pretty. Art gallery. There's gotta be something. Wow! Yeah, go away. Auto flash off. Go away. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing many playthroughs. Can't click on any of those. Looks like I'm going to be doing a few different playthroughs of this game. I don't know what I'm scared of, but for some reason, I kind of scared myself. Well, I guess that's part 1, or ending 1, of Moonlight Walks. So, I don't wanna. Alright, that'll be the end of this video. I will have another ending up very shortly. If you want to play the game and go through endings yourself, maybe there's different combinations, I will leave a link in the description below where you can find this game. Download, have some fun. Send your videos to mine if you want as some responses, and well, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.